Hello everyone. In this video we are going to explore the consistency of our database. So what does the consistency of our database means? So suppose we have a database and we are performing a write operation on it. So suppose we have written the value of record A is equal to 0, and there are multiple readers of this database which are reading the records from this existing database. So if and all these readers try to fetch the value of record A, and what value they are getting, suppose all of them are getting A is equal to 0, so we can see that there is a consistency in the write and read operation. And suppose we have now increased or updated the value of A is equal to 1, and let now what is the value all the readers are getting. If all the readers are getting the value of A is equal to 1, we can say that our system is strongly consistent. But if some of the readers are getting the value of A is equal to 0 and some of them are getting A is equal to 1, and after a definite amount of time all the readers are updated and they are getting the constant value of 1, then we will say that our system is eventually consistent. Okay, so there are two types of consistency. There are two main type of consistency: strongly consistent system and eventually consistent system. So now let's try to understand what is the use case and what is the scenario where we build such type of system. Again, let's come to our system where we are having a writer which is performing the writes, and we are having the readers which are reading records from our database. Now suppose the number of write and read increased on our system, what will we do? We will scale our system. So what are the ways of scaling our system? The easiest way we must first try is the vertical scaling. So in vertical scaling we increase the resources of a database or a system. So earlier our system was having 8 cores of CPU and 16 GBs of RAM, and we are having a increased workload, that is we are having a lot of read and write operations. So we will increase the capacity of a database. We will, instead of having 8 cores of CPU, we will allot 16 cores of CPU, and instead of 16 GB of RAM we will allot 32 GB of RAM. And if the read and write operations are further increased on our system, we will increase the resources furthermore. But there is a problem with such approach. In this scenario we are having a single database, and that is having all the resources and that is having all the data. So in such scenario our database will become single point of failure. What does single point of failure mean? Single point of failure means that if this point goes down, our entire system is going to be down. If we have invested a lot of RAM and a lot of cores of CPU on our database and this database goes down, our everything, our data and our system goes down. So this is not a very good approach. So there's another approach we can use here, that is horizontal scaling of the system. So what does horizontal scaling means? So let's take an example. So here is an example of a primary secondary replication. We can also call it a master slave replication or a reader writer replication. So here, instead of increasing the resources on a single machine, we have increased the number of machines. So earlier there was a one big machine that was handling all the read and writes. Now we have 3 machines where one is writer that is handling all the write operations. All the write operations will come to the writer, and there are multiple readers as per our workload. So this is the reader, this is another reader, and they are responsible only for the reads. The writer will not accept any reads and the reader will not accept any writes. So now let's try to insert a value in our database. So let's take an example where we have inserted a value a is equal to 0 in our database. Now when this value is inserted into the writer, this value will be propagated to all the readers. This will propagated to this readers, and the value will be propagated to all the readers, and this propagation will take a bit of time. So if we go ahead and update the value of a is equal to 1, and at the same moment we go and read the value of a from one of our reader, so the updation of value from writer to reader will take a bit of time, and we will get a stale value from the reader, so we will get the previous value from our readers. So here we increase the availability of our system, that is whenever the load on the system will increase, our system will be available, but the record or the value that our reader and writer are reading, there will be a bit of inconsistency among them. So there is a popular theorem known as CAP theorem, which says that we have only 3 options, and out of 3 we can choose only 2. One is consistency, A for availability, and P for partition tolerance. We will explore CAP theorem in the later videos. Firstly, focus on the consistency part here. So there are two, if we focus on the consistency of a system, so there are 2 major type of consistency in a system. One is a strongly consistent system, and the other is the eventually consistent system. These systems have, both the systems have their use cases and their pros and cons. So let's first understand the strongly consistent system. So suppose we try to write a value a is equal to 0 on our writer. Now if we want to have a strongly consistent system, if the client is trying to write to the writer will update the value a is equal to 0 on itself on the writer machine and will hold the client. The client will wait till all the readers update their value to a is equal to 0. Once either all the systems, all the readers, or the majority of the readers have updated their records, the writer will respond back to the query. So this type of system is a strongly consistent system, because if we are going to read from any of the readers, we are going to get the latest updated value. But there is a downside of this system. Suppose you have deposited 100 rupees into your system, and when you tried to check your balance again and you get that you are having 0 amount in your bank, then you will panic. So in this scenario, we will prefer a strongly consistent system. This system will be slow, but the read and write operations will give a consistent value. Now let's take an example of a eventually consistent system. Okay, so here let's say there is a write operation on a writer. We had a query that wrote a record a is equal to 0 into the writer. So in this case, the writer will write the record on itself and will ask the readers to update their records to a is equal to 0. And the writer will not wait for the readers to acknowledge that they have written the record on them, but instead of it, it will write the record on itself and will respond back to the client. So if we are updating the value of a to 1, let's say, the writer will write the value of a is equal to 1 on itself, this, and ask the replicas or the readers to update their values. It will not going to wait for the acknowledgement of the readers and will respond success to the client. So in such scenario, if we are going to read a value from a reader, there is a chance that a reader will read a is equal to 0, that is the stale record. But after a bit of time, the record of the reader will get updated, it will eventually get updated to a is equal to 1. So the pros of the system is that the system is very fast. We are not waiting for all the readers, we are not waiting for the acknowledgement of all the readers. And the downside of the system is that we are not getting a consistent value across the multiple reads. So let's say that the writer has asked the readers to update their record, and this reader has updated their record, and this reader is getting a bit of lag. So if you try to read from this, you will get a is equal to 1. If you try to read from this reader, you will get a is equal to 0. So there is inconsistency among our reads. So such type of systems are fast, but their systems are there is inconsistency among the reads. So what is the use case of such an architecture? The use case of such an architecture I can see is social media. If you are building a website like Facebook or Twitter, it is okay that some of your customers, some of your users read your tweets after a bit of delay. So that's a bit about the strongly consistent and eventually consistent system.